Hey, welcome to Real Estate Wisdom Podcast, episode number 51. I'm your host, Vishal Kapoor, Realtor with Century 21 Miller Real Estate Limited in Oakville. And today, we're going to dig a little bit deep how to find great deals in the current real estate market in the Greater Toronto area. So, are you ready? I know a lot of people are sitting on the sideline and they are overwhelmed by the current market conditions. So we're going to explore whether it's a good time to upgrade or downsize, discuss the types of houses available, financing options, and the advantages and disadvantages of buying now. We'll also compare renting versus buying and examining future growth prospect with relevant data. Are you ready? So let's go. So in past episodes, we also have looked into current market overview, but let's look into it again. The Greater Toronto area has been the modest in home sales recently, especially in July data, partly due to the Bank of Canada interest rate cuts, which have made borrowing more affordable. Not really though, because quarter percent didn't make much difference. But what we have seen is the psychological impact of that is buyers are out. They started looking properties. I just listed one of the property and I listed and within a day we have 5 or 6 showings happen, which is very decent actually. I also did the open house, which have like 4 or 5 people showed up, which is also showed the sign that buyers are out. And also looking into some of the listings, because they were underpriced, they also sold within a week. So what that indication? Well, it's not happening with all the property though, to be clear about it. A lot of property over there, they're sitting for like 30 days, 60 days, even 90 days. But depending upon the neighborhood, depending on the type of houses, and depending upon what going to sell and how it's presented and how it's being priced, right? So that's happening a lot. And but good thing to see, like there's market activities are started happening more. So this change has sparked interest among potential buyers, like mentioned, and who were previously on the sidelines. However, inventory levels remain a challenge, with demand often stripping supply, especially in popular neighborhoods. And we're talking about single family homes. We all know there's tons of condos are available. And even like Bill was mentioning last episode that how much inventory is there on condo. But not many people want to live in condo until they're getting a great deal. Other interesting thing is happening that everybody is looking for a deal, like a distress sale. Or so much you so call below market value. But how you determine that that property is below market value or not? Well, there are certain factors which you have to look into. What prices the property are selling in that neighborhood in last 2 or 3 months, because it changes like from month to month, and it's very significant. So, what do you think? Is it a good time to buy? Let's look into that. So let's go with the advantages. So I'll say advantages of buying now. Lower interest rates make financing more accessible, and we see the rate cut. It's not same as 3 months before. You have a 0.5%, and the 0.5% make a little bit difference, right? But now also looking into the September rate cuts, because the recent data of inflation have come down below 2.5%, which is very promising. Potential of long-term appreciation in property values due to population growth and immigration. We all know that that's going to happen. There's also opportunity to build equity instead of paying rent. So that's a very controversial one, and people have a different view on that. But here's my point. If you renting and you decided to rent, let's say, for example, for a year, and you're going to decide to purchase it after a year, how much rent are you paying? Well, if you say like a three-bedroom house, I'm talking about comparing with, not the single bedroom or two-bedroom. I'm talking about average family. They look for like a three-bedroom house with the 2.5 washroom. That's the most in demand. Like, that's how you start small. First-time home buyers, and you're looking into rent around like a 3,200 to 3,600 up to like a 4,000, depending upon the neighborhood again, right? So let's ballpark that we go the lowest side, and we do 3,200 a rent per month. 3,200 rent per month is equivalent to what? 36,000 plus 200 each month, so 2,400. So looking at 38,500. Is my math correct? Well, correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what the amount you're paying. On top of that, you're also paying utility, which you're going to pay in, like, if you're purchasing a property anyway. Utilities, yeah, you're going to pay for property tax. If you're buying the condo, you're going to pay like a maintenance fee. So those are like a sum of the fixed cost is going to happen. So even I look into that and say, yeah, that much amount I'm putting it away, giving to my landlord, right? So we're paying like some portion of the mortgage these days. It used to be happen like, most of the mortgage we were paying for the landlord, but that money is going away, right? If you have that money, which you can also put towards your down payment. So after a year, after paying like $36,000, let's say, like you're going to pay, you'll be less in your down payment. And that's my thinking. But everybody is like things differently, but that's my point. Like I said, disadvantages. High property prices in certain areas may be prohibitive, like at this moment. Still, prices are high. Economic uncertainties can impact future market conditions, but this is the thing. And I think like most people, it's not like they don't have money or down payments. Some people are saving it. They are very savvy. But having that economic instability is putting them on the sideline or off market, I should say. Well, there's always a solution, but depending upon your situation, you have to look into that, what you can do right now or what you cannot. But most of the time, problem is not as big as what we think, and we overthink a lot. And that's why it's important to sit down with your professional realtor who you trust, who you know that will give you the right guidance and right advice. Even like your accountant, your financial planner, you sit down with them and look into your total overall, your financial picture, and then you decide it makes sense for you to purchase right now or not. That's my advice. Now look into that type of properties. Well, like I said, like condos are available a lot right now, often more affordable and located in urban centers, but with potential compromises on space. They're small and hard to find, like a 3 bedrooms. Most of them, like in the 2 bedrooms, you will find it, but not 3 bedrooms. So they are smaller, right, in space. Freehold properties offer more space and autonomy, autonomy, well, I should say, but come at a higher cost. So there's always the thing. Looking into the condo prices, you're looking at a decent 2 bedroom, something around 600 to 700 price range. And if it's bigger, like, 800 or 850. While in townhouses, like, these are like a lower. So we're going to check that numbers later as well. And we're going to see, like, how that can work for you or not. Then we look into fixed rate mortgages, like financing options. Fixed rate mortgages provide stability in monthly payments. Like, that's if you decide that that's what you want to do and want to stable. At this moment, like, in most people going for variable, or they're doing the short-term fixed mortgage because they know the rate cuts are coming, and that's going to impact their ability to pay for the mortgage. Variable rate mortgages might offer lower interest rates, come with the risk of rate increases, which nobody have a crystal ball, but like coming 1 year look like it's a rate cuts going to happen rather than increasing. So there's always, the choice like which you want to make at that moment. Like, for example, because I started like in a start of the year when I took the mortgage, I took the mortgage for 2 years, anticipating that's what's going to happen. And before that, I used it for 3 years because I knew that the rate cut is going to happen, but it's not going to as fast like people think or I was thinking. So in that case, you can also like renew, and most of the banks offer that. Like, for example, if you're taking a 2 years fixed mortgage, you also have early renewal option as well. So you can do like a 6 months before you can renew it and get the new rate. So I thought like, and that was a win-win for me at that moment. And some of the people took that advice and they did as well. So hopefully you will make that decision as well. Now, looking into renting versus buying, right? So cost, monthly rent payments, which I mentioned, and then buying, you have mortgage payment and property tax and some of the maintenance, right? Plus utilities in both cases. In renting, no equity build up. In buying, building equity over time. Flexibility. With renting, that easier to relocate if you don't like it. In buying, you have a long-term commitment. So depending upon like where you're going to settle down, that's a long-term commitment which you're going to do when you're buying. Stability, renting like a subject to rent increases. And if you're looking for like a newer property, they have no cap. So rent can increase more next year. More than 2.5%, which the current cap is right now. While in buying, fixed rate mortgages are available, so you know how much payment is going every month. So depending upon situation, I think like more when you buy have a more stability than renting. But again, you have to look into, are you able to those make payments, or you're going to be house poor. You bought the house, but now you're house poor. You don't have any cash flow to spend on other things. So renting might be seems less financially burdensome in the short term, but buying allows for equity accumulation, which can be financially advantageous over time. Not short term, over time. Future growth prospects, we all know that GTA real estate is poised for growth. Driven by factors such as immigration and new housing developments. While economic conditions remain a variable, and that goes up and down, we don't have a control over, the long-term outlook for property value appreciation is positive, and making it a potentially wise investment for those who can afford it. So now the thing is, how are we going to find out like where those properties are available that have can give the value for money, right? So first of all, I will say that you have to understand the market. The Toronto real estate market is known for its dynamism and competitiveness. Like we have seen big one. So as a first-time home buyer, it is essential to grasp the nuances of the market. Look into like a neighborhood growth. Look for areas with potential growth. And these neighborhoods might not be the hottest spot now, but they could offer excellent long-term value. So areas like, some of the suburbs, I will say, and they have a growth potential. And that's how people spread out and they look into like more growth. Market trends, stay updated on whether it's a buyer or seller's market. And this knowledge can guide you negotiation strategies and timing. A lot of people have the argument that this is a buyer's market. I doubt it. I'd say like this is more a balanced market. Yeah, definitely in the condo market is a buyer's market. But at the same time, the price is not coming down that much, which people can afford. So it's more like a balanced market in my opinion. But I'd love to get your thoughts. What do you think? It's a buyer's market, seller's market, or a balanced market, right? The other thing which I was going to say, like a financial preparedness. So before diving into home hunting, ensure your finances are in order. Have a realistic budgeting. So beyond just getting pre-approved, understand your true financial comfort zone and consider all monthly expenses, not just the mortgage. So look into the cost like closing cost, right? Moving cost. Now you're going to go in the new house. You wanted new furniture most of the time. You want to set up like the way you want it. Maybe the builders, lighting, you don't like it. Or you buying the resale that you don't like the area that you want to do some modifications, right? So those some extra cost as well. Property tax. And with a bigger house, definitely utility is going to be more than what you were paying on the condo. So have a realistic budgeting on that. A lot of time people forget about that. And especially when you're buying the new build, a lot of people forget about is their, development charges might vary by the time of closing. And recently we have seen a lot of time that builder is charging more development charges because they've been charged, right? So that's a variable that's there. So make sure that you have a realistic budgeting. The other thing you have to look into is your down payment strategies. Explore creative ways to save your on down payment, such as using the first time home saving account. And there's a new one came out, which is called Sorry, I totally skipped from my mind, but they just like a RSP, that also HFSA account, which you can use, or leveraging the RSP home buyers plan, right? So those are some down payment strategies you can use. And if you're a smart investor, you already invested in RSP with, in mutual funds and GIC or in the stock market, which you're utilizing and you're growing that, that's opportunity to grow your money there as well. So have a great down payment strategy to accumulate that. Here's some unique strategies for first-time buyers. And these are some unconventional tips which I was looking into out in the crowded GTA market. One thing I'll say, prioritize your needs and wants. So create a list of must-have versus nice-to-haves, right? And sometimes we get caught up in those between and we don't know is really we need it or we really, we just want it. So this clarity can help you make quicker decisions and avoid getting swayed by superficial features. I always say you can upgrade later, but look into the structure. I call bones and skins. So if the bones are good, structure is good, skin can change over time. You can do the upgrades, but there's a better opportunity for you to buy the property or find a property which is less attractive, but has have potential of making it attractive. Think outside the box. Like I mentioned, like consider fixer-uppers. Homes needing renovation might offer a lower purchase price. With some work, you can customize the property to your liking and increase its value. That's up to you, and that you can do over time. You don't have to do right away. You live over there, and then you settle down, and then eventually, slowly, you just renovate, right? Also, explore off-market opportunities. And recently, I started getting those calls as well, inquiries as well. People looking for those off-market opportunities. The property which didn't sell, sitting in the market for a long time, got terminated, and they probably most of the time, the seller's not getting the right price, but also there are other factors as well. They're also thinking that they're going to list it at the very hot market. So network with the real estate professionals who might have leads on property not yet listed publicly. And the other day, like when I have the inquiry happen, I didn't have any of those properties on my inventory. So I reach out to my agents in my office, and I got a couple of calls because they have some listing coming up for that particular kind of property, or they start digging into about their clients. If somebody's thinking and they're not selling right now, but it's off market, it might be they're thinking about like a later. But if you have that network, you can get some advantage. So build a strong team, I will say. Surround yourself with a reliable team, including a knowledgeable real estate agent, a mortgage broker, and a real estate lawyer. And their expertise can provide invaluable insights and support throughout the process. Yes, there's a lot of people work behind the scene who can support you in achieving your home buying goals, right? Leverage technology. I know most people these days doing anyway, right? Like use tools like Realm, from Toronto Real Estate Board now, which is also publicly available, and as well as agents can customize and send it to you as well. So real-time MLS updates, helping you stay ahead of new listings and price changes. I know there's a lot of other places people use it, like Zoocasa, Zolo, House Sigma. There's tons of applications, the third-party applications are available. But the problem is, sometimes their data is not as accurate as what's coming from the real estate boards. So, but it's no harm in looking into those for sure. Then the other thing is overcoming common challenges. So avoid emotional decisions. I know. We Realtor, we definitely want everybody to sell with us or buy through us. But it's not necessarily that we're always understand your situation, because you know your situation better. Until you communicate with us or until you sit down with us, we don't know that's really help you, because we're going to say, yeah, of course, there's an opportunity. And there's an opportunity in every market, I will say, right? Every market there's an opportunity to buy or sell. But like I said, it is easy to fall in love with a home, but ensure it meets your practical needs and financial criteria. More than practical needs, I will say, in the financial criteria for sure at this moment, or in any market. And prepare for bidding wars, because if some properties are underlisted and you really like that property, chances are there's going to be, you will be in the competitive market. Bidding wars are common in GTA, and so set a firm budget limit and stick to it, even in the heat of negotiations. So have that budget stick to what you can afford. Don't definitely you keeping it like a 10,000, 15,000, again, depending upon the property you're looking for. But having like a some leeway, that's really help. Embrace assistance programs. Take advantage of federal and provincial program designed for first-time home buyers, such as tax credits and land transfer tax rebates, so to ease the financial burden. And if you don't know about it, like, you can always reach out, and I'll happy to educate on those programs. Now, look into your buying your first home in GTA can be daunting, and but with the right approach, it's entirely achievable in any market. I can tell you that. Stay informed, be prepared to act quickly, and don't hesitate to think creatively. That's why you need a realtor like that who can think out of the box, being creative, and who can help you based on your needs, customized based on your needs. Just remember, the goal is not just to buy a house, but to find a home that fits your lifestyle and financial situation. Thank you for all your love, and thank you for reaching out and congratulating for completing 50th episode. This is the first 51, and I really, really, really admire that. And everybody was appreciating like a Bill's experience and knowledge. So I like that Bill was graceful enough, or I'm grateful enough for him to come to our show. We just hope like these insights empower you on your journey to homeownership in Greater Toronto area. Happy buying and selling. Bye for now. Disclaimer: the information provided in this podcast is for informational purpose only and should not be considered as financial or investment advice. Consult with your professional before making any real estate decisions.